I'm Daniel Pistrito. I'm an audiometrist and assistive listening device product manager here at Blamey Saunders Hears. I've had hearing loss for most of my life. What started off as a mild loss when I was in my early teens progressed to a severe to profound hearing loss now that I'm in my 40s. Through this experience, I consider myself to be an expert in hearing loss and some of the effects that it can have upon you. And one of the key lessons that I learned was that no matter how good your hearing aids are, there's still going to be those situations where hearing aids themselves are just not enough. Certain situations such as understanding the television, social situations, meetings, or perhaps even enjoying a meal with your significant other in a noisy restaurant. Although hearing aids can make those situations a lot easier, you still wouldn't be able to say that you could hear with absolute clarity and with absolute ease without some sort of assistance from some other device. So there are devices out there, commonly known as assistive listening devices, and they more or less range in two classes. So you've got the devices that more or less help to augment your hearing, and they do that by increasing what's called the signal to noise ratio. So in other words, you're getting more of the sound that you want to hear with less dilution from those other sounds around you that you don't necessarily want to hear. Then you have another class of device which are there to make common sounds around you that you would not normally hear noticeable to you. So they might do that by means of maybe a flashing stimulus or maybe something which vibrates that you wear around your wrist. Probably other than my hearing aid and the cochlear implant that I use, probably what I would consider to be my most important device is my Apple Watch, believe it or not. And the reason I say that is because my Apple Watch will vibrate whenever I get a phone call, if I receive an SMS message. And one of the common things that I found was that in certain situations, I wouldn't actually hear if my phone was ringing or if I received a message. So getting that vibration stimulus has certainly helped me in that situation there. Probably the key device that I use other than my hearing aids is my Roger pen. Now that's one of those devices that will help to augment your hearing. So in a situation where there's a lot of background noise around, I could basically pop the Roger down on the table, and it has really clever microphones in there that can try to isolate the sound of the person that I want to hear. There's a device called a Roger Select. Now that has 6 microphones in there that you can then turn on and off, so you can more or less point the microphones in the direction of the sound that you want to hear, and therefore it won't send through the sounds that you don't want to hear. It can merely make those noisy situations much easier for you. The Roger Select can also be connected into the television also, so you're getting the sound from the TV sent directly through to your listening devices. No matter how good your hearing aids are, you definitely are going to find that they do make life easier for you versus the times that you don't have them in. But there are going to be those situations where the hearing aids themselves are not enough. And that's where you need to look into something like an assistive listening device such as the Roger pen, or there's a variety of other devices out there as well which can help. For those situations where you might not hear everyday sounds, and one of the key things is the smoke detector. So at night, you often will take your hearing aids out, and if you can't actually hear that high-pitched sound of the smoke detector, if there's a fire in your house, you may not actually be aware of it until it's too late. So there's devices out there that can alert you to the fact that your smoke detector is going off by a really bright flashing light and a vibration device that sits underneath your pillow. They can also help to alert you for things like the doorbell ringing, your telephone ringing, even for people with newborn babies. So if you are having difficulty in those situations, whether or not you wear hearing aids, don't put the blame on the hearing aids. It's not necessarily that the hearing aid is not working. It might just mean that there's another device out there which you may need to help you through those situations. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about what assistive listening devices can do with you and how they can work with your Blamey Saunders hearing aids, let us know. Either visit our website at www.blameysaunders.com.au or give us a call on 1300 443 279.